All right, mathletes, we have saved the best one for last. So let's try it out. So a solid is formed by joining two hemispheres to the ends of a right circular cylinder. So the cylinder is up and down. It's not tilted in any way. By the way, I did not get at drawing these until after my math classes in college. Of course, I brag, and now I just blew that circle. Anyway, so here's your semicircle on either end. So it's kind of like one of those capsule pills or like a big Tylenol. Okay, so the cylinder has a radius and a height. Well, the semicircle on either end also have the same radius. So there's your shape. Now let's get a primary and a secondary going. Okay, so the total volume is 12 cubic centimeters. So that is actually your secondary. So the volume of this thing is the volume of the cylinder. So pi r squared h for the cylinder, and then the two hemispheres. Well, if you stick the two hemispheres together, that makes one sphere. So 4/3 pi r cubed, and that is all equal to 12. So primary, minimum surface area. So we need the surface area of a cylinder without the two circles on the top and the bottom, and then the surface area of a sphere. So for the cylinder, if you actually cut it and then unfolded it, if you have a cylinder and you cut it down the side and you unfold it, it actually makes a rectangle. So for the cylinder, just around the area around, it's the area of a rectangle. So it would have the height, and then the base, or the top of it, would be the distance all the way around the circle, the circumference. So 2 pi r h, and then plus the surface area of the spheres, or sphere, just one, 4 pi r squared. So we're going to take this secondary and we're going to actually solve for the h, because I want to find the radius of the cylinder. So I don't want to solve, or I don't want to figure out what h actually equals as a value. I want to figure out the radius of it. So I don't want h in this equation at all. I got to get rid of it. So I'm going to solve for h. So let's move this 4/3 mess over to the right. Divide everything by pi r squared. So I get 12 over pi r squared minus, if I divide this by pi r squared, the pi's cancel, and I'm left with 4/3 r. So that's a pretty nasty looking h, but that's the h we have. So we're going to plug this into the primary. So 2 pi r times all of that plus 4 pi r squared. And I'm going to just distribute this before I start doing a derivative. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use the product rule, and I'd rather not. So just distribute. So 24 over r minus 8 pi over 3 r squared plus 4 pi r squared. So now I can just jump straight to a derivative. And this would be like 24r to the negative first. So if you do its derivative and then kind of flip everything back down, its derivative is negative 24 over r squared minus 16 pi over 3 times r plus 8 pi r. And let's go ahead and just kind of combine all of this into one fraction. So I need a common denominator, which would be 3r squared. So I need to multiply the negative 24 by 3. The negative 16 pi r by another r squared. So 16 pi r to the third. And then this I need to multiply by 3r squared. 24 pi r cubed. And I can combine these two terms together. And that's what I can set equal to 0 and solve for r. So r is going to equal 0 from the denominator. And then if I solve the top for 0, can move over the 72 divided by 8 pi. So r cubed becomes 9 over pi. So I got to cube root it. So the cube root of 9 over pi. So I need to choose the radius that's going to maximize the surface, or I'm sorry, minimize the surface area. Well, if r is 0, I don't have a cylinder and I don't have a hemisphere. So that's, so that really minimizes it, but it doesn't even give us the shape we want. So it can't be the 0. You don't want dimensions that are 0 or negative. That's kind of bad. So that kind of gives us the one answer of the cube root of 9 over pi. And they said it was 12 cubic centimeters in the beginning for the volume. So that means the radius has units of centimeters. And I think I forgot to put that on the notes. So just include it here. All right, so that is it for section 4.7, and that is it for the chapter. So that means, dun dun dun, the exam is coming up. So make sure you study, look at the study guide, email me questions, talk to me during office hours, get the help you need, and you will be successful. All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.